Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. I'm your brother Qadrijan Ilghar, the president and president of Uyghur Foundation. Uyghur Foundation is a proud sponsor, co-organizer of this event series. We call it China's Genocide Against Uyghur camp survivors speak out. First of all, on behalf of Uyghur Foundation and all Uyghurs here, we thank you for attending today's event. We especially thank to our guest, UAE President Alfidar El-Taber, and our 3 camp survivors at this stage, coming all the way from Washington, D.C., taking their time to share their testimony, let the world better understand the plight of Uyghurs. And I want to especially thank also that MCC, our always very supportive, encouraging our beloved MCC community, providing a platform like this, help us with the session so that our local community can hear the voice of a voiceless Uyghur. Before we begin the program, I want to share a little bit about Uyghur Foundation. I know some of you know, some of you don't know. So Uyghur Foundation is founded based in San Francisco. It's a 501c3 nonprofit organization with primary mission to provide humanitarian support for Uyghurs in need all over the world and preserve identity and culture. We help financially needed orphans, widows, as well as support the camp survivors. We helped close to 1,000 Uyghurs orphans, widows, and a few camp survivors. We host program like this, which aligns with our mission to help raise awareness, to help help Uyghurs. Little house rule and reminder that we will do our Q&A session at the end of the testimony. There will be a presentation and and the testimony, and we do it afterwards. And also, just be mindful that because of the nature of the testimony, some of the testimony might make you feel a little uncomfortable. So just as a reminder. And so lastly, so I want to introduce our next speaker. Our next speaker I'm going to invite is Alfidar El-Taber. Alfidar El-Taber was born in East Turkestan, currently based in D.C. She is a human rights activist, the president of a Uyghur American Association based in D.C., and the daughter of prominent Uyghur scholar. Without further ado, please help me welcome Alfidar El-Taber.
Assalamu alaikum. First, I would like to thank everyone who's here, and also the Uyghur Foundation for sponsoring this trip, this event, and also to MCC for hosting us. Thank you so much for your hospitality. And also salam to the friends who is watching online. Uyghurs, basically I was born in Urumqi in East Turkestan, grew up in Istanbul and came to US in 2000, and since I came in I've been working for the Uyghur cause, advocate, and last year became the president of Uyghur American Association. Our organization is a community-based organization, just like you guys, and we try to preserve and promote Uyghur culture, Uyghur language, Uyghur identity, and our religion. However, because of the genocide in our homeland, we are focusing on advocacy and lobbying at Capitol Hill and doing a lot of human rights work recently. So let's talk about China's genocide against Uyghurs. I would like to talk. Keep moving. Yeah, so it doesn't move. Okay, thank you. So we'll talk about who are the Uyghurs and why China is committing this genocide, oppressing Uyghurs, and then Uyghur life before this genocide, and also the life inside the camp and outside the camp in our homeland, and what actions have been taken so far, and also what can we do as a community member, as a person. So who are the Uyghurs? Uyghurs are Turkic and Muslim people that are native to Central Asia. We call our homeland East Turkestan. However, China calls it Xinjiang. We reject that name because it means new territory that was invaded. Uyghurs have more than 22,000 years of history, rich history. We had our own independence. We lived independently for years. We had prosperous states. However, once we were invaded and occupied in 1949, Uyghurs gave up their arms. Our lands, our properties were taken, confiscated, and the population of Han Chinese back then, 1950s, were 6%, and it increased more than 50 now with the migration. Why China is committing this genocide and crimes against humanity to Uyghurs? The first reason is the Chinese Communist Party, they cannot tolerate diversity. They want, especially once the Xi Jinping became a president and general secretary, he wants one homogeneous Han Chinese population in China. We were independent in the past, lived freely, and starting 1990s when Soviet Union separated, that's when China got a little more scared and wanted to get firm grip of this land, because they know, they were never owned that land. It was not their land. It was occupied. So CCP wanted to control the region. Also, our land is such a geopolitical and economic important for Chinese ambitions. So basically it connects China to Eurasia for their trades, for their economic ambitions. So our geopolitical land is very important for them. They had to have a strong control. And East Turkestan is very rich with minerals, resources, oil and all those, and that China doesn't, want to give up. Also for China's big population, it's the size of Alaska, if you think about it, and they would like to resolve those population problems as well by migrating Han Chinese to our region. As you see in the map, it's very important where our homeland stays, and that's why China, wanted to have a strong, firm grip, control over this land. Oppression before the genocide was still there. Once we were occupied, slowly assimilation were, taking place. So forced abortion, restriction on Uyghur language in our school, restriction on Uyghur names and the Muslim names were banned. Turkic names were banned. For example, like Muhammad or Fatma, they're banned. We cannot name our children with those Islamic names. Also restrictions on practice of religion. Any, practices like fasting or praying, also not allowed for the community, for the Uyghurs. And also separation from the Turkic and Muslim root. So Xi Jinping himself rewrote basically the history and trying to disconnect us from our root, from our Turkic root, from our Islamic religion rooted. And the forced relocation of Uyghurs, especially the girls, to inner China, that was also going on before the camp started. Before I talk about the camp, let me give you a little background information about how this has started. Starting 2016, we got disconnected from our loved ones. So there was no internet, communication, no phone calls. They weren't answering us because they were getting punished, basically, for communicating someone overseas. After the disconnection, we didn't know what was going on, and then slowly our scholars, our doctors, our professors, writers, basically the backbone of our society, were taken and detained. At the beginning, China was denying, but once the Canadian researchers showed the satellite image of those camps, then China said, oh, those are vocational training camps, those are schools, we're re-educating Uyghurs and teaching them Chinese and things like that. we were worried what was going on there. Once there were some camp survivors like you see today, they were able to escape because their husbands are Kazakhstan citizen, Pakistan citizen, or Egyptian. So they were able to, advocate and get them out, basically help them to escape. And then we heard stories, personal testimonies about what is going on inside the camp. So political indoctrination in those camps, there are torture, sterilization, there are rape, forced labor, organ harvesting, separation of family and children. So kids were separated from their parents. Also, their identity and language and culture and religion were stripped away. Also, they were using Uyghurs in the camp as a testing zone, like a guinea pig, for their medicines or their technological tool. As you see on the photos, on the top one, that is at the airport on the floor that says "fast lane for organs." So I want to talk about a little bit that I said for organ harvesting. On those camps, before those detainees enter, they have full body, biological body scans, X-rays, DNA checks, blood samples. So they're trying to use very expensive machines, tools to get those data, and they have this one big database. And then they're ready to match your DNA if you need a kidney, if you need a heart. In 48 hours to couple days, they can tell you we have someone that matches. And those are the Uyghurs in the camps, live people. Unfortunately, they even advertise halal organs to Arabic or Muslim countries that's saying because Uyghurs are Muslim, they don't drink alcohol and they don't eat pork. They look at it like those organs are halal, and they basically market that to the Islamic countries. And that's why in what country you need a fast lane at the airport for organs. That shows the intensity, the level of organ harvesting going on, that we don't have exactly evidence to show this person did this, because everyone is very afraid to speak up. But that's the level of the scary stories going on in those camps. Very small camps, as you see. Those wooden table, as you see, they eat there, they study there, they sleep there, and that one small room, so many people crowded. And their bathroom is that corner blue bucket. Everything is watched 24/7. Lights are on. There are cameras everywhere, and they learn Xi Jinping's codes. They learn political indoctrination, CCP's propagandas in those camps. This is a Dawanching camp that in 2015 there were, as you see, it was like a mountain. And 2018, CCP built a big camp, concentration camp there that can hold 70,000 people. This is just the one camp, and we know there are more than 570, I believe, camps in East Turkestan. Life outside the camp. So we talked about, what people go through inside the camps. And outside is not big different, actually. It's basically like living in the open air prison. 24/7, there are cameras on the street. You're being watched, you're monitored, everything you do is recorded. There is surveillance state, forced sterilization also going on, forced abortion, forced marriage. Unfortunately, because of the one-child policy that China had starting 1980s, they were basically doing abortion for the girls to keep their last name longer, and there were so many men compared to the women. Their population was imbalanced, so they need more brides. And that was a solution by the Communist Party. The state run these incentives, these plans to, if you marry a Han Chinese, you will get awarded, this much of money, this much of help from government. And Uyghur girls were forced to marry the Chinese Communist Party's cadre. And if you don't, then you're being threatened, like your parents might be taken to the concentration camp, or if they're in the camp, they might be killed. So those girls, they sacrifice their life, marry someone who's not their religion, marry someone who's not their own nation, own culture, just to save their family members. You see on the photos the girl's face. You should be very happy on your wedding, right? She is crying that what she's going through. I can't imagine. So forced labor transfers to China, also another big issue. According to Adrian Zen's report, 1.6 million Uyghurs were transferred from inside China to, from East Turkestan to inner China. Elimination of identity, language, and culture and religion also going on outside. Another important thing I left at the end is this, the homestay policy that China brought. They basically bring from Han Chinese, from the government cadre to your house. Imagine a stranger comes to your house, in your home, stays with you for months, and report everything you do. Are you praying? Are you, using God's name? Are you saying something against the government? They report everything, document everything, and monitor everything, and tell the CCP. So that is very unacceptable that you even have to share your bed with them. And imagine some family, the fathers or the men of the family is taken to the concentration camp. Those men had to stay with the remaining part of the family. We talked about forced sterilization, again with Adrian Zen's report in Associated Press. The birth rate fell 60% from 2015 to 2018. And this is basically, they're killing us, destroying us before even we are born, brothers. This is unbelievable compared to, for example, Uzbeks are very close to us, and their population was around 13 million in 1950s and about 33 million now, but according to Chinese sources that Uyghurs were around 12 million, and we say more than 3 million are in the camps. Besides that, I talk about the children, right? I am a mother of two. When I heard about these concentration camps, I was wondering what is happening to the kids. Unfortunately, they are not given to grandparents most of the case. They are also taken to the kids' state-run orphanages, boarding schools, kindergartens, and stripped away from their identity, their religion, their culture, their language, and basically raised as a subject to CCP, subject, it's like robotic machines that who doesn't know who they are. This is very sad, and I'm worried about our future. We talked about forced labor earlier, and I wanted to expand it a little bit. So China using forced labor not just get cheaper labor, it's also their genocidal policy. When they transfer Uyghurs from East Turkestan to especially Uyghur women, right, to inner China, they take those women at the age of, giving a birth away. So they're away, they don't give birth, that way they can control the population. And if they have kids, they're separated, so they cannot pass it through, transfer their language, their culture, their religion to their kids. Also, kids were taken. So that's how they trying to achieve the homogeneous one Han Chinese, nation by separating families from each other. Also, other related to forced labor, so 80% of the cotton of China comes out of our region because it's such a good quality and fine threads, and 20% of the world's cotton also comes out of China, and that is linked to Uyghur forced labor. Besides that, the polysilicon of the solar panels, electronics, auto parts, agriculture products such as like tomato, all those things use Uyghur forced labor that we need to be careful. The US passed a Forced Labor Prevention Act, and it started to be implemented last year in July. So we are a little, better compared to other countries. However, China is using Canada or UK or other countries, European countries, as a dumping ground now, and they can't bring those products to US. They're still selling them to other countries. That's why we need to contact our countries, our government, to let them know about this Uyghur forced labor issue. Sorry, I keep going a little in details. So also we talked about our rich culture, our architecture, as you see on the photos on the left here. that we had beautiful the home, decorations and houses built based on Uyghurs culture. However, they were also destroyed under the name of, it's too old or not safe, and they were building new apartments and move Uyghurs. That's also part of cultural genocide. So when it comes to Islam, not just Islam actually, any religion, China, CCP looks at it as a disease. It's like a cancer. It's threatening to them, because when you have a faith, you're stronger. When you have a faith, you have a community. When you have a community, you can be against to certain things. You can stand up for injustice, for example. So they're very scared of that, and they were continuing by demolishing the mosques. Around 60% of the mosques in East Turkestan were demolished or transformed into hotels and restaurants and bars, unfortunately. I wanted to get some of those signs that were on the mosque. So we cannot go pray at the mosque, but even the people, like old people who are allowed or who can go, those are the things on the wall as a regulations or rules. The first one says Azan, and China rewrote basically the Adhan, and it says, come. It's a little small, I can see it now, but come, instead of only one word, just say come pray. The rest they change it to its own, it fits its own agenda. The second one says tesbih, so it's basically when you're using tesbih instead of Allahu Akbar, Subhanallah or Alhamdulillah, they said you need to say thank for Communist Party, thank for Xi Jinping, you need to say that. Like, these rules are on the mosque. Imagine what kind of Islam that they are building in East Turkestan. And the last one is, as you see, the Qurans, the praying rugs. They're burning those items, because having Quran in your house, praying outside, all those things are banned. Those are a reason for you to be taken to the concentration camp. Transnational repression is important for the Uyghurs who live outside China. Unfortunately, we deal with the survivor's guilt and also the China's long hand. When we want to speak up about the truth, China trying to hold our family member as a hostage back home and trying to control our action here. So basically, I'll delete that tweet. Don't give testimonies, that kind of threatening messages we get all the time. And this guy on the left, Yusufjan, was threatened to be spy, and when he didn't agree, he was shot in Turkey. That's one example. Another way of China getting students back is basically when your passport expired, the embassy here or wherever you are, they don't extend your passport and say you need to go back to homeland and get your passport expired there. When you go, you're arrested. Anyone who got education overseas, they are afraid and they think you are a threat, because you're open to democracy, you're open to religious freedom, you're open to freedom of speech. And when you go back, they think you're going to spread those values to Chinese or the Uyghurs, and they're afraid of that, unfortunately. Lastly, so both Trump administration and Biden administration announced it as a genocide because we have been giving enough evidence, proofs, and reports to the world. U.S. passed two bills, Uyghur Human Rights Policy Act and Uyghur Forced Labor Bill. Forced Labor Protection Act. Many European countries, 9 of them followed the suit of US, and they also declared as genocide and crimes against humanity. And most recent report by UN also clearly said that it constitutes crimes against humanity. Now the last part, what can we do as a community member? First thing is raise awareness, spread the word, tell your neighbors, tell your friends, if you're in the church, tell your people there. If you're in the mosque, share with your friends about what's going on. Now you cannot say I didn't know about it. Best thing is to raise awareness and share this knowledge, because this is the truth. Also support Uyghur diaspora organization, sign up, go to their events, donate if you can. The financial, they're all under-sourced, they don't have enough resources. Contact your Congress members to advocate for bills on Uyghurs. Tell your Congress members that you support and you want your Congress members to support Uyghurs bill. write UN to pass a resolution, and last thing is don't buy made in China product. If I'm sorry if I bore you, but those are the truths that we're dealing with every day. Now I would like to introduce our camp survivors. They will share their personal stories. I will be doing a summary translation. I will try my best. Thank you. First speaker is Zumat Dawut.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Mening ismim Zumat Dawut. Men Sharq Turkiston Urumchi shahrida tug'ilib, shu yerda cho'ng bo'ldim.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. My name is Zumat Dawut, and I was born in Urumchi, East Turkestan, and I grew up there.
Mening yo'ldoshim Pokistonlik. Bizning 3 farzandimiz bor. Biz izchil Urumchida hayot kechirib kelayotgan.
My husband is a Pakistan citizen, and we have 3 kids. We lived most of our lives in Urumchi.
2016-yildan boshlab bo'libmi men o'zimning shahardagi ishlarni deb beray. 2016-yildan boshlab bizning vatanda qarg'ularcha insonlarni tutib so'lash, shu lagerlarga ilib ketish boshlandi.
I would like to talk about my city, what happened in my city. Starting 2016, the people were getting arrested and detained, insane.
Tutib ketilganlarning to'lisi namoz o'tganlik yoki mushu diniy ta'lim olganliklaridan 5 yildan 25 yilgacha qamoq jazosi berilganlar.
Most of the people that were arrested, the reasons were given as praying or learning about their religion, and those people were imprisoned from 5 years to even 25 to 30 years.
2014-yildan boshlab Xitoy hukumati har bir masjidga namoz o'tash kirishdan burun kimlik surkab kiradigan qilib uchun 2016-yili hamma odam kimlik surkab masjidga kirib, hech kim men namoz o'tamadim degandan qutulolmadi, chunki hammasininki shu apparat orqali masjidga kirganligi bilinib turadi.
Around 2014, they brought new rules that you need to swipe your ID in order to going inside the mosque, and so that's what we did, follow the rule. However, around 2016, then they started to arrest those people who went to the mosque and they had proofs.
Vaqt munosabati bilan ba'zan gaplarni qisqartib deyishni qaror qildim. Men endi cho'ng-cho'ng beshimda o'tgan ishlarni deb o'tay.
Since we don't have enough time, I will just talk about the main bigger topics and what happened to me.
2018-yili 3-oyda menga bu qarsoy tashlandi, ya'ni saqchixonadan chaqirtildim.
In 2018, I was also called by the Chinese police to the local police office.
So'ralgan savollar bekchiq, lekin buning orasida hamda mendan so'ralgan bir savolni deb beray. Sening yo'ldoshing Pokistonlikka, sana diniydan, paniydan, shu diniydan dars ba'dimi ya Pokistonga borganda dinini o'rgan deb sana mana diniy dars oldingmi? Yo'ldoshingning davlatiga borganda yoki shu islom dinini qabul qildingmi degandek gap so'zlar.
So when I was arrested, I was asked so many questions. Among them, some of them was, did you learn about Islam, your religion? Since your husband is Pakistan citizen, did he teach you about, your Islam, and did he teach you your religion?
Bizning vatanimizda biz Uyg'urlarga faqat 2 farzandlik bo'lish yo'li qo'yilgan. Mening 3 balam batdi. Endi yana bir so'ralgan savoli, sen 3-chi farzandingni mushu diniy islom bo'yicha ko'p farzandlik bo'lish sabab degandek ashtaq ishlar bo'yicha tug'dingmi degan savolni so'radi.
So there was 2-child policy for us Uyghurs there, but I had 3 kids. That was the other reason for me. I was constantly questioned about that too, and they said, is this because your religious beliefs that you had the 3rd child?
Shuning bilan meni saqchixonaga chaqirtgan vaqtida men saqchixonaning pastga mushu yer osti uyda so'roq qildi. Shu yer osti uyga kirgan vaqtimda do'glangan Qur'on Muşu hadis kitap olsun, Kur'an kitap, İslami kitaplarını başyağılıkka, hatta suluya haltılağı çekikilik bürdü ve aşı Kur'an kitaplarının aldıdaki bir küçük sorakanda sorak kılındım. Xitay sakçıları o Kur'anlarını putları bile tipip, iştirip itip durup aşı yerlerge taqaşqanlık üçün ötüşke tosalgı boğalık üçün putları bile iştirip anadan keyin beni aşağı söylep ep kirdi.
So when I was taken, first I was taken to the room, underground room, and when I was going there, I witnessed that there were so many Quran, religious books, and praying rugs, and even scarves. They were in one corner that just collected, most likely from Uyghurs, and they were so disrespectful. They were kicking it. They were like putting in the corner, and I saw that.
Sorak qilish jarayonida saqchilar hattoki er ayol mavu deb ayirib o'tamay hech qanday to'sig'i yo'q shu so'raqanning ichidagi kichik bir taratqachisi qilam hojat qilsang bo'ldi deb ashta qildi ekan ular.
During the interrogation, everything was being watched. There were cameras, and even if you need to go to a bathroom, you were supposed to do it in front of those police. Everything is being watched, and no matter what, if you're a woman or man, they were male police.
Tutamga chiqqidek hech qanday gunoyim yo'q. Shundaqdimi meni uya saqchixondan ilib meni doktorxonaga apadi. Bütün a'zoyimni tekshirdi. Qon oldi, ko'zning nurini, hatto 10 barmog'imning izini, ko'zning nurini, DNA deb bir qo'limizdan qon elib tekshirdi. Ashunday qilib, ondan keyin meni o'g'inish maydoni deydi, hamda Xitoyning deyishi bo'yicha shu jazo lageriga olib ketildi, olib ketdi.
So first, before they take me to the real camp room, I was taken to hospital-like rooms, and everything full biological, like X-rays were done, my blood samples were taken, my fingerprints were taken, even my the iris scans were taken, and then they took me to the detained room.
62 gün şu jaza lagerida boldum. 62 gün jarayonida nurg'un ishlarga shohid boldum. Masalan, u yerda 17 yoshdan 75 yoshgacha ayollar shu qamoqxonada men bilan tang yetilgan.
I spent 62 days in those concentration camp. There were ladies in my cell, and from age of 17 to 75.
62 gün jarayonida har kuni bir taldan tablet yeyishga, 15 kunda bir qatim qon elishga, bir oyda bir qatim vaksina deb hukul urishlarga uchirdim.
During these 62 days, I had to take unknown medicines every day. I had to give blood samples every 15 days, and every month we were also getting scanned and give
62 gün 62 günden keyin sebepsizla qo'yib berildim. Bunun keyin chiqqandan keyin bilsam, yo'ldoshim izchil turda mening gunohsiz so'langanligimni deb o'zininki, ya'ni Beijingdagi Pakistan konsuliga izchil turda berib mening izdak so'rag'imni qildi.
After 62 days, I was innocent. After 62 days, I was released. I didn't know what was going on, but then I learned it was my husband who were advocating, trying to release me, and contacted the embassy in Beijing and trying to get me out of those camps.
Men va bu yenimdagi lager shahidlarning hammasining yo'ldoshi chet ellik bo'lganligi uchun biz qutulib chiqildik. Lekin ular yanala hozir jazo lagerlarida.
My friends here and I were the lucky ones. We were able to escape because our husbands were not, Chinese. They were foreign citizens. However, all those ladies in our cell, they're still in those camps.
Albatta, jazo lagerining sharoitini deb o'tag'il bo'lmaydi. So'g'oq, hatto yepindigan narsamizmi yo'q. 62 kun yetish jarayonida men 6 oy g'ichilik, men hatto kichik tara tutamaydigan bo'lib qolgan.
It was very cold in those camps when I only stayed 62 days, but once I released, up to 6 months, I was not healthy. I was still having hard time adjusting, even going to the bathroom.
Şundaq buluşu qaramay yana hökumetten buyruq düşdü. Muşu işkin tuğup boğan ayallarını çoqum tuğmaslık operasyası qilib boğdurub etimiz degan hökumetin siyaseti düşüp meni mecburi halda şu halımga qaramay meni tuğmaslık operasyası qıldırdı.
After I release, I was also called again and said that there is a new policy, new rules, because I, have more than 2 kids. I had to be sterilized, and I had to go and complete the sterilization procedures.
Mana bu mening müşahideki Amerikadaki doktorxanalardan algan tuğmaslıkka ait isbatım.
This is my doctor's letter that shows that I was sterilized in China. This is the evidence.
Şuna olan biz u yerda turammadık. Biz endi yaş arayal. Men yine 36 yaşımda tuğmaslık operasyası kırıldım. Mening 9 yaşımda o.
I was still productive, but I was sterilized when I was 36.
Bizden hatta onun da mecek ballak boğumuz battı. Biz arayal işkilimiz ballan yaxşı görettik.
My husband and I, we really love kids. We wanted to have more kids too.
Hatta hükümetki berip dedi, biz vədi bereyli ballak bulmayımız. Bunda qılmanlar bu aciz hazır işten qısı yegenden bilen mağatıdı. Desim onu mu deyil, sana pasportunga kartamga urguzup, seni kiremez kıytımız Çaynağa. Ayağını, pasportunu vermemiz, çıkaramayımız dedi. Ben ensirdim, 3 balam bilen, ben qında qılım.
My husband was begging and imploring the Chinese police and those doctors not to sterilize me, and said, please, let us just stay without the sterilization. However, they didn't allow us. They threatened us, like not giving my passport. So I was very scared. To protect my kids, I had to agree with them.
Pasportlarımız hükümet değil. Biz net çıkıtımlap, netçi min yerlerge tamғы urdurup, bekçik yolunu minip şürüp pasportunu elip, ben Pakistan'a kitayli boldu. Nim kösek aş Pakistan'da yaşaylı, dep yolduşumga bu fikrini verdim. Yolduşumның mu uyada turğuz kemmedi, boldu, ballarım nep kitay. Dep şununla Pakistan'a bardığanğa biz iltimas sunduk. Bu bek testi bitti, şununla biz Pakistan'a geldik.
It was very hard to get our passport. We went through a lot of financial and other procedures in there because what I went through, I didn't want to stay in my hometown. I felt like I'm not safe, so we came to Pakistan.
Pakistan'a bir aylıqla ruxsat berdi. Hatta ki ballarımның mening pasport numarim bardığan aeroplan, keladigan aeroplan neticede qanchada uçup qanchada yana Ürümchiga qaytib kelishimizdan tartib batdi. O qog'oz hozir bor menda.
So they had all our information when we are leaving to Pakistan, where we're staying, when are we returning, so we had to buy return tickets to all the details, and they kept all those information and allowed me to go for 1 month only.
Pakistan'a keldim, bu telefon toxtamadı. Kemmemse, bulmamsa degandek. Bir aydan aşqandan keyin manga izchil turdi, telefon kelgil turdi. Bir insan to'y qilib o'zining erining yo'ldoshining uyida turamamdi, bir ayol kishi. Shundaqdimi Xitoy hukumati meni kelmasang bo'lmaydi deb menga tahdid soldi telefonda.
Even when I was in Pakistan, after 1 month, I kept getting threatening phone calls. I just wanted to stay in my husband's house, can't I? I was constantly called and called back to China.
2016-yılı ağan Amerikanın vizisi aile boyunca ağan. Şu çağda pasportlarını ben vize iliplam pasportlarını hükümet tatıb ağandı. Anadan ki müşaq mağdığı vaqtida birden bir qechish yo'lim şu Amerika ekan. O'zimni bexatar aşağıda o'ylab, ballarım hammamizning qo'lda şu Amerika vize bo'lganligi uchun biz Amerikaga 2019 4-oyning 1-kunisi Amerikaga yetib keldik.
Luckily, before 2016, when I applied for a visa for US, I got 10 years visa. Once I got my passport back from the Chinese government, I thought that's the only way out for me to be safe, and I came to US with my kids and husband.
Amerikaga qaytib kelgandan keyin bu bir erkin dunyoning ekanligini, Xitoyning hech qanday menga besim qilmaydiganligini, xalqim uchun so'zlasam o'zimga hech qanday bir Xitoyning hech kim qilmaydiganligini bilib, men xalqimning ovozi bo'ldim. Bütün medialarga vatanimizda bo'layotgan ishlarni anlatib keldim.
Since I came to US, I learned what freedom is, that China can't do all those things to me here in the US, on the US soil, and I started to be the voice for my voiceless people back home.
2019 ayının ahırları mən Birleşken Devletler Teşkilatı'da şu Uygurlarının buluvatkan kırgınçılıkını anlatış için şu yerde guvalık bəməkçi olup kitivatkanımda ailemden izcil türdü bana telefon kelip kıvat kayışını toxtat. Dadam hazır saqçıqanda dep akamның telefonunu tapşırıp aldım.
In 2019, I went to New York to give a testimony at the UN event. While I was going there, I received a phone call, and my brother said that I have to stop. I shouldn't keep going, otherwise my dad is in the hand of Chinese police.
Mən o gepkeme qaramay Birleşken Devletler Teşkilatı'da çoğun jığınıda Uyghur kırgınçılığını dünyaya anlattım. Guvalık verdim.
But that couldn't stop me. I still went to UN event and spoke and told the world about the Uyghur genocide.
Şu bir 10 gün içinde, 10-15 gün içinde bana dadamның tügep ketkenlik haberini, yani bir Xitay hoşnamdı. Meni öndidardan hemisi jüvette çetelge çık ketdi dep. Uygurlar, tuqqanlarım, urug tuqqanlarım hemisi. Fakat ve fakat telefonumda qap qalgan bir Xitay hoşnamdan dadamның tügep ketkenlik haberini aldım.
After around 10 days, unfortunately none of my relatives keep in touch with me. However, my Chinese neighbor called me and said my dad died in the hands of Chinese police.
Xitay inik qilib dadamның men sebep tügep ketkenligini mana uqturdu.
The Chinese police clearly said that because of my action, my father passed away.
Men müşaqı mağdığa vaqtımda tutup ketilgen, haremge beriş sebeplik, namaz öteş sebeplik, hatta mescidning imamlarının resimlerden tatip ilip geldim. Men de şu resim ispatlaba, qaysı kim-kimning türmege kirip ketken, kim-kimning ölüp ketken.
Before I left China, I tried to gather information. I knew the names of the people, detainees in concentration camps, even imams, the people who went to Hajj and detained for that, people who prayed and detained for that. I have some of those information. I brought it with me.
Xitay hükümeti hatta ki Xitay Uyghur kızlarına Xitayga toy qilgandan keyin urug tuqqanlarını türme lagerlardan qo'yib berdi.
Some of the parents of the Uyghur girls who accept to marry the Chinese, their parents were released, unfortunately.
Nurgun kızlar ata-anasını, urug tuqqanlarını, qeyrindaşlarını türmede qutuldurup maqsadida özünü xudi otqa tashlagandek Xitay erlariga toy qildi.
And those girls had no choice. They had to marry to save their parents, and they had to marry with Chinese.
Xitay hükümeti her birimizning ailesiga Xitaylarni atalmış qo'shmaq tuqqan siyosati deb her birimizga birdan Xitayni uylarimizda qo'nidiganga o'rlashtirdi.
Another Chinese policy, the homestay policy, is the brothers sisters program that they bring a Chinese person to our house, and this was mine.
Meyli dinimizde bolsun, meyli qandal bir insaniyatda bir yat erkişilen yat endi bu Xitay buluş siyasatida billi yetiş, billi sayahat qilish, billi tamoqlanish degandek ishlar bor dedi. Yani bir ayın ichida 15 gün o Xitaylar bilan billi turmush kechirdik.
With the homestay policy that we had to share our food, share our day, our trips, even our bed with the Chinese cadre, unfortunately. And this is very inhumane, and it's not even fit to any religion beliefs.
Bu mening 11 yaşlı kızım. Yeni dikisi Xitay hükümeti aşnaqa atalmış tuqqan qilib bergan. Hamda sizlar o'ylab baqinglar bu musulmon emas, qandalı dinda bir kichik qiz bolani birisi bilan birga yotqili kim unaydi?
This is my 11 years old daughter, and that is her brother, Chinese brother, that the government decided. Can you imagine this? Your daughter, who is at the age of 11, has to spend time with an un-Chinese man like this.
Kündülük faaliyetini, kündülük aşı qıvatqa işlerini ola resim tatip hükümetki yolumuz bolmaydı o Xitaylar.
those Chinese people came and stayed with us had to take pictures of their, activities, daily report what we've been doing.
Uyg'urlarning qabristanligini buzib, ya bizga kerak. Bu ya bizningki yerimiz, zaminimiz. Bugun nereden bo'lmasin ichidik adamdan akitinglar bo'lmasa biz topuğu kömgen mesela ölüp ketkendikin ki mayli 40 gün bo'lsin, yana 5 gün bo'lsin, qandalı bo'lsin, bularni hammasi to'piga chiqib qoldi. Bu ya bizga kerak deb qabrlarimizni buzib etdi.
Another thing that I can't accept is the government all of a sudden told us that they need the land of my mother's graveyard. So they told all the Uyghurs to remove the corpse, remove the dead bodies from those lands, and I had to dig and get my mother's body out. And around 5 to 40 days we had to keep them.
Mana bu mening qabrdan qo'layotgan urug' tuqqanlarim, opam.
Oh, my relatives had to dig out my mom's dead body.
Hatta qabrdan chiqagan o'liklarni xotirjam yana bir yerga ko'minglar deb o'rin bermay. Ko'mishki bo'lmaydi, hamiyat apparat bor. Uyanglarga aktiv turinglar, biz o'rin berganda, qacha yerlik berganda ondikin ko'mislar deb bizga butun hammamiz oilamizda o'zimizning urug' tuqqanlarning jasadlarini saqladik.
Can you imagine that once we had those dead bodies, they didn't give us instruction where to bury. They said they don't have a place yet, that we have to wait. And we had to keep those in our houses.
Hatta qabrdan bütün chiqqan jasadlarni ular sundurup yana mashina holatga keldi.
Some newer bodies, they had to break the bones to make it smaller so they can fit the new land.
Uyimizda bir oydan ortiq vaqt saqlagandan keyin bular bizga 40 santilik manandek qabriga ustixonlarni qo'yib qo'yishni dedi. Anadan keyin bizga vaqt mushu o'rinni berdi mana.
This is the place they gave us at the end. It's like a 40 by 40 centimeter, this small space that we have to bury those bodies here.
Mushunga passimi patadu, patmasim patadu, mushunchilik yani berdik deb. Bo'lmasa axlatga tashib et ustixonlarni.
This is how small the new place they gave us, that we had to fit the body in those.
Deb kelsak, gapchi Xitoy hukumatining bizga sinayotgan zulmlarini biz manch kech kunduzdimi anglitib olmaymiz. Bu faqat va biz uchirgan zulmning 100% emas.
If I talk about everything, the scale of this oppression is unacceptable, unbelievable, and I think I'm just talking about 1% of what is really going on.
İltimas, dünyadaki Müslümanlar, biz sizler bilen bir dindaş, Kâbimiz bir, dinimiz bir, Allah'ımız bir. Bizni başka dindekiler kollamadıdı, biz de özümüzün Müslümanları bek kollamadıdı. Biz Allah'ın aldığı billi bardık Allah, lekin bizge yardım kılanlar, biz üçün dua kılanlar, biz üçün Xitay hükümetine karşı çıkanlar. Allah'ın aldığı bak beyrinler, hemmeler rahmet.
Our demand is, please, especially Muslim brothers and sisters, we have the same God, same belief, we believe in same Jannat afterwards. So I ask you to pray for us. I ask you to stay on our side. I ask you to stay on the truth and raise awareness and help us. Even other religious, people from other religions are helping, because this is a humanity issue. I expect my brothers, sisters to help even more.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Mikri Tun, and she will try to speak in English, right? Mm-hmm.
I try. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam. My name is Mikri Tun. I try to explain my all horrible story in Chinese concentration camp with my broken English, but my English is not very good, but I try to explain. And I am first, thanks for my Allah give me the second chance for life. And then thanks for all Muslim brother and sister here, stay with us and protect all Uyghur Muslim. Yeah, I born in East Turkestan, in Uyghur homeland. Until 10 years old, I studied with Uyghur student, Uyghur language. And then from when I have 10 years old, then Chinese Communist Party sent me to China city, Guangzhou. From my homeland to Guangzhou is 2,700 miles far away. They sent me to the Chinese city with Chinese students together, study high school, university, and in China by Chinese language, Chinese history. So I stayed 10 years in China city without my parents in school, high school, university, and 10 years in China. After when I have 20 years old, I apply for high bachelor degree for outside China. So I choose to coming Egypt in England University in Cairo. So when I come in Egypt, first year I study by Arabic language, and then after another 4 years I study with my business class. So 2012, I don't know what it's. That time I met my husband in Egypt. He is Egyptian, so we get married. So 2015, when I was 25 years old, I become triplet mother. I have triplet one time, 2 boys, 1 girl. They born in Egypt, Cairo. When my kid is 2 months old, so my parents always calling me to come back to visit them. So because we have in Muslim, when have baby coming, so we have like Zaffa, some party. So I go back to my hometown with my 3 children with Egyptian passport. I was in Chinese passport. So of course my husband to apply also come with me to China, but Chinese embassy only give my 3 kids Chinese visa, but they didn't approve for my husband Chinese visa. And we don't know why, so I think, okay, my husband can waiting after that come to take us from China. So I take my 3 kids and me, we go back to China. It's 2015, May 12. When I just arrived to China airport, so in Chinese, in Urumqi airport, so Chinese police asked me to they have some question want to ask me. So I go to, and with Chinese police, so they are taking from me my 3 kids away. I need to ask them where they are taking, but they don't want to answer. In airport, 3 hours, they ask me a lot of questions. Why I go to Egypt? They know why I go to Egypt. I go to study. I take student visa. And then they ask me a lot of questions about 3 hours. After 3 hours, I ask them where's my kids because they are only 2 months old. I give them breastfeeding and they need to eat or changing diaper something, but I ask always they don't answer. They all tell me only answer our question. You cannot ask from us any question. Then after 3 hours, one Chinese man coming suddenly stick my mouth and give my head black hole, give my handcuff, take me to from airport. So when I go to airport, so police car enter the police car inside. They push me strongly. I fall down and broken my nose. I need to scream, but I cannot because he stick my mouth. From that time until more than 2 months, I spent the Chinese camp without, I don't know where's my 3 kids and my parents or my husband. Nobody visit me, nobody come to see me or search me, but this more than 2 months, every 2 days, he take me to outside question room, and have a lot of torture, beating, something. After 2 months, they told me, you kids have sick, so we let you to permanent time to go outside free from prison. But of course, 2 Chinese police with me 24 hours. Where I going, they come with me together. Of course, they take my Chinese ID and the passport, my cell phone. So they say I am in the blacklist person, dangerous person. So they can take me anytime to prison, the camp. But now I am only permanent time because my kids are outside. So I cannot contact with anybody. I cannot using cell phone. If I need anything, I will tell the behind with me to police. So that day I go to Chinese hospital in Urumqi, children's hospital. And I see my one son, Moise, and a daughter, Elena. They had big surgery from their neck. And the health is very, very bad condition. And they gave me another, my son, Mohammed, his dead body. They say your son is dead morning because we gave him surgery. It's always total 5 months I didn't see my kids. I didn't know what happened for them. And until now, I have questioned why they are doing surgery for my kids. I am 25 years old. This is my first kids. I am very excited. I have triplet. I have very big dream, take care of them. But they take this chance from me. After that, they gave my kids dead bodies. They let me go out from hospital. Any doctor, anybody cannot tell me what happened. They don't want to answer my question. And the police want me close my mouth, shut my mouth, don't speak anybody, go out from hospital. So that time my mom, my dad with me. We want to take care of this dead body baby. We don't know what we're doing. We want to take the kids to, of course, in Muslim. If anybody die, we take them to his Gazette for the masjid, pray. In our country, no. That time, I want to take kids. I tell a lot of people, please, I can pay money, take my kids to masjid, pray, janazah. They are not accept. They are not accept. So I want to take my kids to put any qabra. They don't want me allowed to put any qabra. Where I go in this dead body, I try to let my kids wake up. He cannot. Finally, I find one Uyghur guy. He gave me secretly his mother qabra behind a small place. Want me put the kids here. Of course, that time 3 police car with me, with my mom, with me. Don't want us to pray or make any dua for kids. We put my son in this qabra without any pray, any dua. This is very hard for me. This is my first kids in my life. So after that, we go back to turn off to Charchan, my hometown. Charchan from Urumqi is capital city. Charchan is small city. From Urumqi to Charchan, 2 days drive car. 2,500 miles far away. So when I go to Charchan, again they take me to camp. So from 2015 to until 2018, I have spent 13 months in total in the camp. But another time is this switch me a lot of different camp and sometime in a hospital because I am in 3 months. I witnessed with me same cell, 9 women dead. They take this dead body like something bad animal like that. But a lot of women every day they take from the camp. Take a lot of women outside and another new woman coming. The outside women they are not come back. We don't know what happened for them. And this camp condition is very bad. We cannot drink water. We cannot shower. We cannot go outside from the one room. All women. They are shave our hair, and everyone have handicap. We are still like waiting what time is coming to our dead turn. We don't have any news what time we're gonna go outside. So because this bad condition, I lost my memory, I fell down. Then after, when I wake up, I was in the Urumqi hospital. Of course, they gave my hand as handicap. And the 2 police with my behind my bed. They give me a lot of medicine every week 1 time, and every week 1 time they give me injection. But we don't know what this medicine, what this injection. After when my health little bit become good, they take me to again the sale 2017 October. Then they give me 1 paper, want me sign, and that time is. They change my prison clothes. Actually, the camp clothes is blue color. Chinese all same. After that, they changed for me orange color clothes. So they told me, so This times I getting death sentences. So because I am have a terrorist mind, because I go to Egypt, I start wear hijab, I study pray. So I am living with Muslim people. Maybe I have terrorist mind, so I get a death sentences. So they told me to sign paper for my 2 kids, because the Chinese only writing Moaz and Elena, my 2 kids' name, that not writing father name. They want me writing father name for them. After that, I reject. I say, my kid is born in Egypt. I don't have 2 kids. I have triplet. You killed one of my kids. So these 2 kids, you must be before you kill me to return back to Egypt. If you don't return back, one day the Egypt government will search where the kids. So after this shock, they ask a lot of the Egyptian embassy in China, search about everything. After 3 months, the Chinese police very upset, come to the camp to want me take outside. I think this time is maybe they will take me to go to death, because they give me 3 options. When I have death, I have only 3 options to choose. One is with gun shooting, one is give my gift for my body for any hospital for using, or another was medicine. So if I choose with gun shooting, they must be shoot me 3 guns. Every 1 shooting, I need to pay 600 RMB before I dead. So I let him to whatever you kill me, you can choose. But this is either Rabbana, yani hand of Allah. So after that, of course, in the prison is very horrible. We cannot pray, we cannot do anything. But I know Allah can see our heart, He can feeling. I pray a lot. I'm only 27-year-old. I die, okay, but what can do my kids? Please help me, give me 1 chance to take care of my kids. I pray a lot. Alhamdulillah, Allah give me a 1 second time for life. After the Chinese government, the 2018 January coming, they very upset to take me to outside from the jail. They say want me go to police station. When I go police station, I'm shocked. I see a lot of Egyptian government people and my husband there. They coming to take off my kids. They want me son. So my husband tells them to my kids is 3, not 2. Where is one of them? They say we don't know. We don't know your another 1 kids because your wife only come to China with 2 kids. They are reject. Inshallah, I will one day to all world know that.
Allah.
So when I speak to Egyptian government and my husband coming to China to help pick us, so that time yeah, so Chinese government of course doesn't kill me. They take me to Chinese office. Then I met my husband. The Egyptian government is there in China. So after when I go to police office, so my husband of course ask the Chinese police, my kid is 3, not 2. Whereas one kid is, they told them we don't know. Until now, they are talking the all news, every video. They say Mikri will have only 2 kids. We don't know 1 kid. After 2 years, they say Mikri will have 1 kid in Turkey, 2 kids with them in America. How one mother he breasts his kids, and if his kid is alive, tell whole world my kid is dead. So Allah knows that, inshallah. So then my husband asked this, and they told them, the Chinese government told them, we don't know another kids, we have only 2 kids. So after my husband say, okay, when I go to Egypt, I will tell all international court about Chinese government what they doing for my son. So they tell my husband, shut your mouth, don't say anything, but if you accept, don't say anything. So in world, in the news, we can give you your wife. So after my husband take my kids and me, so 2018, April 16, we left from China, safety. Of course, when we in Beijing airport, 4 times Chinese police tried to don't let us to go airplane. They stopped our ticket. One day have problem, second day, because every time international airplane, because 2 kids and the husband and me, a lot of expensive. Of course, they are not resident, but police doesn't let us to pass go. Last time he tell my husband, this woman is very dangerous. He cannot go out from China. How much money you want to get, we can pay for you, but don't take this woman outside from China. Then my husband, he screamed in the airport. After that, he left us to go out from China. When I just go from out China to we just arrive Egypt airport. So when I go out from Egypt airport, the Egyptian police catch my husband. They say your wife is Chinese, but he get married with Egyptian. Any Chinese cannot stay in Egypt anymore, because in Egypt government with Chinese government they have negotiation. I don't know, have some contract, something. Before I come to China, when I was 2017, I was in China. So this in Egypt, of course, have a lot of Uyghur students study in Azhar University. The 2017, Egyptian government returned 370 Uyghur to return back to China. Because this reason, they are saying Egyptian government can good friendship with Chinese. So they let me go out from China for permanent time. But when I come to Egypt airport 2018 April with my husband and my 2 kids, they let me go out from airport, enter Cairo inside, but don't want me and my husband go with me. The police take my husband. They want to have some checkout. But after I stay my husband's parents' home about 15 days, every day the Chinese Egyptian police coming to search, ask about me. So that meaning is I must be returned back to China. So that time I contact with my parents in China. So my parents say, please come back China. If you want to see us, if you want to save us, please come back China. But when your kids grow up, then I understand, because they cannot speak anything to give us any information. They listen to phone, everything. So that time I understand I cannot go. If I go, they will kill me, of course. And then when I left from China, that time they take from my family 26 people, my father, mother, sister, and brother, to prison. So we have like contract. If I come back, they can release from my family 26 people. If I don't come back, they will kill them. But after my parents talk to me, don't think about us. Please come back China. But when your kids grow up, that meaning is don't come, because they will kill me also. They can whatever they do for my family. So after that, I cannot stay in Egypt. I cannot go back to China. I don't have any document, and my husband not with me. So I try to, before I die, share all my story, whole world. But no one believe me. I try to go to Turkey. I don't have document. Then I go to American embassy. I told them I am not Egyptian, I am not Chinese, I am Uyghur. I have stayed this horrible life in camp. We have this. I tell all my story. Then U.S. embassy let me to stay in the hotel. After they search all my information, then they believe me, and they have true document, everything is hand. After that, they help me to with my 2 kids and me. 2018 September bring me U.S. as a refugee. But until now, I am here with my 2 kids free. And of course, my 2 kids is disabled, not healthy. And when I was camp, they give me electric torture, and before I go from China camp, they give me surgery, sterilize. I cannot have any more baby. I cannot hear from my right ear. I lost hearing. And my health also still have some problem, because they give me a lot of injection and medicine. So about near to 5 years, I stay here with my 2 kids, without husband, without my father, my mother, and sister, brother. I don't know where they are. They are alive or no. I miss them. I miss their voice. Sometimes my kids ask me, everyone have daddy? We don't have daddy, mommy. Why we are alone? But I told them, we are a big family, a lot of Muslims with us. when I go everywhere speech, I see some big guys. I search my father's face from there. I search my sister's face. When I see a lot of women, I think they are my sister. They have someone of my mom. I cannot find them. But Alhamdulillah, everywhere because Allah loves me here. Allah protect me. Allah give me second chance. But I cannot stop because I have horrible life in concentration camp. I witness a lot of women die. So I need to be a voice from them. And I am here. So tell you all guys, please protect Uyghur. Do whatever you do. Try to make any action to stop China doing for genocide Uyghur. And thank you so much. Pray for us. Thank you so much.
Our last speaker is camp survivor Tursunay Ziyawudun. I will be translating summary translation.
Assalamu alaikum. Men Tursunay Ziyawudun. Men bir Xitay jaza lagerinin tirik şahidi bulumen. Men metnimiz Şarkı Türkistan'ın Ghulja şehri Künes nayesinde.
Salam everyone, my name is Tursunay Ziyawudun. I am a camp survivor from the China's concentration camps, and I am from Künes region of Ghulja city of East Turkestan.
Men Xitayning jaza lagerida 1 yil yotdim. Birinchi 2 qitim kirdim, birinchi qitim 1,5 ay, ikkinchi qitim 10 ay. Jami 1 yil.
In total, I stayed in the concentration camps for a year. First time it was a month and a half, and second one was 10 and a half months. So 1 year, I spent my 1 year of my life in concentration camps.
Mening yo'ldashim Kazakhstan'da turdi. Shu men yo'ldashim bilan birga Kazakhstanga chiqqanligim uchun 2011 Kazakhstanga chiqib 5 yil turdim. 2017 men qaytib borgandan keyin tutuldum. Şu çağda ben vatanda nima ish bo'layotganini bilmaydim. Men berib bilan saqchilar tarafından tekshirildim.
Because my husband was Kazakh citizen, I went to Kazakhstan and stayed there 5 years. And then when I came back to my homeland to visit, I didn't know what was going on. That was 2017, and I was arrested.
2017'de 4-cü ayda birinci qitim tutulgan vaqtimda men mingdek adam bilan birga qamaldim. 1,5 ay ichida u yerda bizni har xil Xitoylar majbur biz yemaydigan musulmonlar yemaydigan yemekliklar, masalan cho'chqa go'shti. U yerda o'z Xitoydan oshpazlarni akib tamoq etkizdi, aroqlarni ichishga majburlab, men oshqozon yallig'i bo'lib, amalsiz doktorxonaga chiqardi meni. Doktorxonada yetib davolanishimiz bilan 2018gacha sirtda turdim. 2018 3-oyda yenib saqchi tarafdan chaqirtib, yana akirdi meni. Yana burunqi yotgan lagerimga. Künes naya yeni meldeki lagerda u.
So in my first 1.5 months in the concentration camps was very hard. There were around 1,000 people with me in that camp. The condition was very horrible. For example, the food was cooked by the Chinese cook, so we were given alcohol, we were given like bacon or like pork products, and we were forced to eat those things. Of course, I wasn't used to those foods, and by time I got sick and my stomach had very severely impacted, and I was hospitalized and I was released. And then I stayed outside, not in the camp, till 2018, and I was taken back again to the concentration camps.
Ben ikinci qitim yeni tutulgancha Allah'ta mening akamna kirib ketdi, inimna kirib ketdi. Bütün bizning mahallada, shaharda nurg'un odamlarni tutishga boshlagan. Hatto men turayotgan shaharning ichida faqat odam qolmasga aylandi. Pek kunda odamlarni tutyotdi.
The city I was in is Künes region. Before I was taken back for the second time, my older brothers and my younger brother, they were also taken to the concentration camps, and so many people from our region were taken that the city was almost like empty.
Ghuljaning ichi aynı bir Soqaş rayonu aylanıp qalğan göz aldım turdu. Hatta adamlar berip el Xitayda Gangchang deymiz berip aylandıgan yana da hemmisi tanka, bütün saqçı qurallyk aşda turduğan koçada xatirjam adam mağanmaydı halat kep ketken.
City of Ghulja is usually very crowded. However, it was like a war-looking ghost city. There were armed police everywhere. They were like tanks, and it turned to something totally different, very fast.
İkinci qitim tutup aparılganda o lagerning içi başqaça özgürüp ketipdi. Türme resmi ayni birinci qitim bagan vaqtında onda emas, o bir kasbiy maktabdi bizni aparıp qalmaganda. 2018 ayda bagan vaqtimda o resmi türmege aylangan hemme yer qurallyk saqçılar turatdı. Bek qoqunuşlyk içi. Bekçiq adamlar kirgen mülçer bilen 10 mingga yaqin adam batdı. O çağda onun içi bir şuçidek bolup resmi binalar silingan. Kirgenden tatıp biz rejim bilen başqarıldık. Resmi saqçılar qurallyk ip maňatdy. Hem o men u yerdeki bir yıllık hayatımda bir yerde dep tügetkil bolmaydı bekçik. Adam bir ay hayatınızı deyiş üçün asan neme emas onun içindeki köýgenlerimden. Lekin men kısqaça dep berey.
So the second time when I was taken, and it was much different. The previous one was at least, it was like a school-like building, but second time it was like a real prison. There were armed police everywhere, like watchtowers, and it was much big crowd. I think it might be, holding around 10,000 people because there were big buildings, and I witnessed so many horrible stories, but I will just talk about a couple of them now.
Bizni birinci qitim 20 dek adam bay uyga 4 metrlik uyga qamadi. Ona nurgun ayollar batdı. Ular bilen birga turdik. Dersga birga chiqatdik. Bir Xitaycha ders ötüş üçün 2 aydan keyin onu başladı. Dastlapda biz kirgan vaqtda undaq ders ötmedi 2 aydan keyin. İşte de o bir ne qıldıgan yemi yo'qdi. Bir kichik qizil chelakni qo'yib berib, ashning o bir ne qilzatdi. Juyundigan ya yo'q, faqat juyunmaydik. Juyunish degan mumkin emas. 2 aydan aşqandan keyin juyunislar deb bir soğuk suga mecbur açıp. Onun içinde 70 yaşlık momaylan batdı. Kichiklar 18 yaşlık qizlar hatta. Lekin onu issiq suv emas, momaylar ba'zilari qiynalib o suga tushdi. Mashina nim qilsa cho'qim tayoq yeydi u yerda. Ig'ir jazoga tortildi. Mecbur ashundoq.
So when we were taken to the second time, the room was very small. It's like 4 meters square room and very crowded. So many ladies stayed with us. In that room, we were not allowed to go outside for going to bathroom, restrooms. There were small red bucket in the corner, and that was our restroom, and everything is being watched with by everyone. At the beginning, we were learning intense Chinese and other propaganda. The condition was terrible, no hygiene. As I said, we couldn't shower for months. And finally, they allowed us to take a shower, but it was very cold water that there were some old ladies couldn't adjust. And when you reject or say something against to the police, you also get punished.
Bir momay ağırıp qaldı, qattiq qızıtıb, onun qaraydığı adamı yo'q, aşda yatatdı. Hammamiz şu soğaq zay Simon bilan nim qan bir uyga, yani 2 ayga yo'tkide uyda tug'andim, ondan keyin bularlik rat kütüşədik deb so'raq başlandı, tanqo deb hammamiz so'raqqa chiqib ketadi, 2 kun 3 kun yo'qab ketadi, ba'zilari kiratdi, ba'zilari kirmay yo'qab ketadi, ba'zilari o'ylak holatda kiratdi, tayoq yeydi, nimalar bo'ladi, qiynaydi u yerda aşda. Hatta o'zim shu so'raq chiqdim.
Our daily life was like that. If you get sick in there because of that bad condition, you never get treated. Some old ladies have their fevers, they got very sick, but they're never given medicines. So it was those kind of, environment. Also, they started to take us time to time for a questioning room and interrogating us, asking lots of questions. Sometimes some ladies, they leave the room for questioning and they never come back. Some comes back and very quiet, don't talk to anyone. Some lose their conscience. It's very hard to continue your life in those camps, in those cells. And one day, they also called me.
Әммеден қайыр момайлағы ішім бір яңыз болып кетеді ойласам, біз өзіміздің ұмытып қалып, ашлағы ішіміз селіп кетеді. Әрбір таяқ еп, әрбір жазаға татылғанды олар бек-бечар алды деп момайланың бечар момайланың бешеде чашымы жоқ. Қайырғанда адам қандай болып қалдығын шу жағдай қылысқа біздің ұйғыр момайла мұсылманлар ешқашан яғлық не бақмағашқа көміп дегенбіз оларның ішкі талам чичи қалды екен беште оппақ чашлары тішлері чүп кеткен елқыла жығылғанда үмчереп көз алдымда жүркім деген азырғы әрбір ойласам жүркім серліп кетеді оның ішінде ашлаға қараплам ішімізден қып кетеді әрбір жығылап я бір иғыз қытайча кеп білмейді қытайча кеп олайлық білмеген ұйғырча кеп қысы жазаға тартылады сен гәк қылмай гачы болып отырсаң отағын сен ұйғырча гәк қылмалы дейді олар бірінші өшілік қылдығыны біздің ұйғырның тілі ұйғырлығымызға өшілік қылады оныңдан қасы біздің дінімізге өшілік қылады сен язлық чыңдың ма пәкат оның үшін сорақ суал бізге бөйділдіған шөтте язлық чыңдың ма намаз оқыдың ма сен ұйғырның саны көбейтсін артық тұғыпса сен неміш қылдың сен қандақ мәселен чаталға шыққан біздердің сорайдығыны сен қандақ ташкілатлалы алақаң ба сен неміш ұяқ жып қанда мұсылман демократlar білен мұнасибеттің ба андақ мандақ шу шунодан яйттық таяқны яна
So I was a little younger, I could take it, but there were very old ladies that I cannot unseen those memories from my memory. Those ladies didn't even have, you know, enough hair on their head. They don't even have teeth. They were very old, and because they don't speak Chinese, time to time they speak Uyghur language, and they get punished because of speaking our mother tongue. So basically, speaking your own, you know, language, showing anything related to your religion, anything related to your identity, Uyghur identity, was banned and being punished in there. It's very hard to continue your life in there.
Мен жазда сорақ шығып 3 күн аш қойылып ақырда Қытай сақшылар тарапынан таяқ едім. Мен қарсылық қылғаным үшін қаттық ұрып етті. Менің ұйқышымды білмегенде қалады.
One of those days in the interrogation room, I was also questioned. The questions they asked, she said earlier, that, you know, if you went to overseas, who did you meet with? Did you contact any organizations? What did you do? And those kind of questions. Once I was a little against what they said, and I was also bitten and kicked, tortured.
Oldum bula toxtumay kəşləri qızlarını açıq gedədigan ayallarını açdaq işlərini çıxardı. O saqçılar başqaçı bir saqçılar kelətdi. Qar kostyum bir kiygan, qar көзәң тaq açdaq adamlar payda bo'lib o'tirdi. Mangdigan bo'ldim aşı keldi. Qar qandaq ismimizni ataydı chiqmashqa amal yo'q chiqardi. Kunda 2dan 3dan adamlar aktatdi. Baqatlı biz tarafdan emas, bosh tarafdan. Ba'zilar aşı kep sarang bo'lib qoladi. Açdaq men bilmayman, nim bo'lganini aytdim. Boshda hammamiz hayron qoladi. Qo'rqatib atdigan bilan qaqlarning qizlarning sarang bo'lib chiqarib açdaq o'g'in aktatdi saranglar doktorxonasiga. Ba'zilar o'lib qopdi, tamog'i beshini suzib aytdi. Açdaq naslanchiq anglaydik. Bir kuni mening
So besides all this what's going on, at nights they started to take us for questioning, or I don't know what are the reasons. Young girls were taken by the unfamiliar faces of some Chinese men in black suits. They come and they're not the regular police there, and called some ladies by name, and they take them out. Some never comes back. Some comes back as losing their conscience. Some they lose their mind. Some are like very heavy bleeding. So I thought they were being tortured. And one day they also called me and another young lady.
Menim aşı 21 yaşlıq bir qız bilan birga ep chiqdi. O qizni bek chiroyli qizdi. O chachlari misharning qilib biz uni Xitoychilab Shangyang deb qo'yatdik. Dumlaqlar bek ko'zlari ko'z oldimda turdi. Tek to'y qilmagan qizdi.
One day the police called me and another Uyghur girl who is only 21 years old, who's unmarried. She was so beautiful. We both were called to the dark room.
Көз алдымда аш қыз. Қытайда өз көзім білен көдім басқанчылық қылды. Шыққан деген о қыз сараң болып қалды мен. Hatta ketkiçi bileme kızın lekin ismini diyeyim yok demeyme. Vakti kes deyme men çokum Xitay bilen özleşken çaq deyme o kızını. Saramıp kalıp Qayerda kimlar chiqqandı kim o? Ne çıkıp yığılap meni çaqırdı. Aday kelsen yanımga dep. 4-5 yaş Xitay başlıqlar bir yerdə oturup araq içkizip, "Oy sen nimaga kelding? Buni qutqizalamding sen? Biz akitimiz hazır Benganga" dep başladı. Otağın gap qilmay oturdu. Aday men akitda deydi. Men o bir qitim qutqizam, ikkinchi qitim qutqizalamdim. Uni hech qilmayman. Mana
I witnessed her being raped in front of my eyes. She was screaming and begging. And after that, she was like lost her conscious. She wasn't herself. She cried every day, and it's very hard to handle. Don't want to talk about the details. Even when she was released, multiple times she was called by the Chinese government officials for the alcohol night parties. She had to go, and multiple times she contacted me to help her, but there was nothing I could do.
Oxşaşlar men şundaq oxşaşlı men şunu uçurdum. Lekin men hayatımda bırak ölüp boldum. Eşitmegen kerek emas. Men lagerdan çıkıplam öldürüp alman özümni degen. Allah'ın kudreti bilen menin yolduşum Kazakhstan tuğallık üçün men guvallık beginden bilmeydim.
I too actually went through the same fate with her, that I was also called at night and went through what she went through.
2018 12 ay bolganda meni tuyuqsuz çıksa senin yolduşun Kazakhstan diye dep başta haber geldi. Men işenmeyme dep 2 yıl onun için öz bilginçe sotlap başta kıldı. Bir gün tuyuqsuz başta sotlayımız dep çakırıp meni 2 yıl mesela köz aldımda 36 yaşlık bir ayalını 6 bal top qoğanlıq üçün 6 yıl sotulub etdi.
So in 2018 I was called for questioning again. Until that I lost my hope of living, she said earlier. I wanted to die. There was no reason to live for me, but I was called one day and questioned.
Mana bunun içinde şundaq iş qandaq bir rahimsizlik adam qinaydı. O ayal demeydi, çaşlarını müşedin kesip itip emmisini aşını açtı. Hatta bir gün doktorlarını başlap gelip bir ayal iğraya qopqaptı, emmisini toxmas operasiyası qıvetdi.
There was one lady who stayed there for so long, but she got pregnant in there, and she was also punished. And then they also called all the ladies there and sterilized them.
2018-12 ayının 25 günü men çıkıp qoy ütüldüm üyedin. Çıksa da
in 2018, December 25th, 6th, I was released because my husband, who is Kazakhstan citizen, were advocating and trying to get me out and contacted the government officials.
Çıksa diyen günü men taatqı çoxlayanmadım. Yerimdik qızanın əmisi qağantı üyedi. Hatta ulanın iş qaydı əmmis lagerdiler, əmmis aç turumның içinde. Hatta yoldaşlarımның əmmisi aç turumda dedi. Çünkü əmmisi bazıları bildi menin çıktım, bazıları bilmedi. Biz keçi cibar turatdık. Aç keçi men aç qızlarni onu turpay uxlamayman dep boldular. Bari bir er çık ketdi, men muşla uxlasın dep. Cibar turpay dedim. Aşnama saqçı kelip menden sorap, sen nima üçün tuğdun bugün uxlamay şunchalar jiq tursa dep. Bir-birisi yardım qılım qoymaydı. Faqat Komünist partiya yardım qilishlik, başqa yardım qilmaydi degan bir ideya ularni açdıq.
On my last night in the camp, some of the girls knew that I was going to go. I was going to leave the camp, so they admired me because it was my last day. Usually we take turns to sleep. A couple people stays awake to look and watch. And that day I wanted to take that responsibility because I was going to be released next day and I could sleep. But even for that I got punished, and the police were asking me, like, why giving your turn to someone else?
Men manqancha uyedi, menin inim, akam tek çıkmagan ulan batdı. Yenimdeki aç kızlarning əmmisi qaldı. Men hiç kaçan hoş bulamadım uyedi manqanchada. Azıqdak esim turupdu, qayıqıb atqan gündü. Şunda qad aldım, mangsam şunda keynim ketime teyip şıqılıma saqçılar kiyip aldı kiyimim. Çünkü uyedin çıqqa vaqtlı kiyim almaşdırmız. Biz oraya kirgendik keyin bütün mahbuslarning kiyimini kiyimiz. Men köp kiyimlik, seriq kiyim, qızıl kiyim 3 kişi bölümüz. Çangan ben, yangan ben, bu bende. Şu çağda kimni şu çıqqıdağan adamni almashtırdı. Mening inim derizden көрүп turuptu ekan meni. Qandaq көрүп qalgan. Ada deb baqirgan bir ovozni olib keyinim qarsam shunda shaxsda baqirib ketdi. Ularning bilibdi inim buni chiqadigan qandaq kiyim almashgandikin biladi. Agar kiyimni boshqa vaqt almashtirmay chiqib ketish uchun. Mening ham joylarim hammani men uyat qilib qolgandeklar bo'ldim. Hech qachon qo'sh bo'lamaysiz uyatdan chiqish uchun. Hammadan qo'yib qolgandikin. Mening qarindoshlarim uyat qolgandikin. Adalarimning o'g'illarim
Today I was released. I was supposed to be happy that horrible life was gonna end and I was gonna be free. However, I was not. I thought about those girls who cried and who stayed with me in my cell, and my brothers were also in the same camps. And when I was leaving, I remember clearly it was snowing that day. My feet was moving very hardly, and my brother from one of the windows called like sister, and I looked back and I felt terrible that I was leaving and he was staying. Not just my brothers, I had my cousins, my relatives in those camps. So I couldn't be happy couldn't share the happy feelings of leaving, knowing that all my brothers and sisters still in the camp stayed behind me.
Şu yolculuğum arası bilen çıkıp Kazakhstan'a çıktım, çıkkandıklı pasportum verdi Xitaylar. Yolculuğum Kazakhstan'da bek bizni xatirjam qilmay ketib bordi. Bütün xalqaro deb qo'yatgan deganda bunda xatirjam qilmay shuni qaralib shu xalqaro deganda shu chaqda men bu yerga kelib bildim, u chaqda bilmaydim.
I didn't know what was going on when I was in the camp, but my husband was contacting media and giving testimonies about me being in the camp. When Chinese government gave me my passport and I traveled to Kazakhstan, then I learned how I was able to escape.
Ben Kazakhstan'da 3 aylık vize içip verdi. 3 ayga qaytib kelsa ailangni ko'ribdi. Dedim, shundikin bag'andikin. Men rastla bu yerga kelgan vaqtim bilmaydim, yenib kelma deb bag'an. Lekin u yerga bag'andikin qaytib bag'andikin qanday bo'lganini hammani o'zim es qilatdim. Kazakhstan'a chiqqandikin men guvohlik berdim. Şu kundan başlap xatirjam qilmadi, Xitoy to'xtamay, hatto Qozog'istonda ash yo'lchimda turayotgan uyimizga oqshom uxlayotgan o't qo'yibdi. Lekin hayot qoldik, o'lmadik. Amerika konsullar kelib ko'rib, hamma aralashib meni qo'ydi. Keyin sog' salomat men Turkiyaga keldim, Turkiyadan Amerikaga keldim. Lekin
I was released under the condition of coming back in 3 months, so I signed papers. And once I came to Kazakhstan, first I was still afraid and scared, and I thought I was going to go back. But then by time I had to speak, I had to share the truth. So I gave some part of my experience as a testimony to some of the reporters. Right after my testimony, I started to getting threatening messages from Chinese police. They even tried to burn my house in Kazakhstan.
Amerikaga sog' salomat keldim, lekin har bir kunimiz bu yerda bizning hozir. Men kelgan vaqtimda qattiq og'irib keldim. Mening butun nimamda xabarimda ko'rsanglarni bilsizlar, men miyakka pek cho'ng operatsiya bo'ldim. Yanılmış hazır Zumat degandek hammamiz u yerdan chiqqanlarning ish qaysi faqat Xitoyning maqsadi shu Uyg'urlarni tuganmas qilish, mangu balliq bo'lanmas qilish. Ash tayoqlarning zarbasidan mangu balliq bo'lanmas operatsiyasi bo'lib ketdim. Lekin jinim aman qoldi, bu yerga kelganda men bek ig'ir holatda kelgan shu tayoqning zarbasidan hatto Qozog'istonda mishakagacha men ashdaq ig'ir ag'irib keldim. Allah'a şükür cinim aman qaldı. Lekin men hech qachon cinim aman qolgani uchun yana boshqa narsa uchun manda yomon ballaq bo'lamaydi deb o'kinib baqmadim. Men butun hayotimni ashak o'lib ketib qolgan qarindoshlarimga atib etdim. Ashlarni qutqizish uchun deb. Masalan, boy Zumrat ash qizining gapini qilgan meni ash o'ylab ketdim. Hamma uyda ashnaq ras Xitoylarni majbur ash uyga yotqizib, majbur mening bir akamni lagerga kirib ketganda uyiga deyishdim, nima qilaman? Üzərimdən işlədim yığır. Akam lager kirib çıxıcı bir Xitayni uyga o'rlashtirib qo'yib, Xitoy chiqıcı adam ash Xitoyga ikkisi chiqishi qo'yib, yengam ashna bilan ketdi. Ashnaq vayron qilyapti uylarni. Hamma odamni nima degil bo'lmaydi, hatto oilalarni vayron qilish uchun. Hatto qizlarni yetishga majburlayotgan, ba'zilari o'lib qolgan shuning dastidan.
So U.S. government, America helped me to come to Turkey, and from Turkey I came to U.S. I was very sick when I came. I was able to get treatment. Luckily here in the U.S. I went through major surgeries, the trauma, and I got treated here. I am living now. However, you know, I'm still like a dead person, but I need to speak up. I need to still share what I went through. For example, when my brother was taken to the camp, also the Chinese, the homestay policy was active, and Han Chinese came to my brother's house and stayed with my sister-in-law, and basically, in a summary, ruined their family as well, separated their family. So the Chinese government's clear intention is sterilize us. Intention is decrease the population of Uyghurs. So intention is eradicating Uyghurs. And I realized that, and I said to myself that I need to speak up.
Hammalarga rahmat. Anlap begnanglarga biz şunu bu lagerdan çıkkan kızlar biz bu yerda hayat yaşavatımız, hatırjam Amerika'daki şundaq erkin dünyada yaşavatımız deyen bilen hiç kaçan bir günümüz, bir minutumuz mu bizning tinch, hatırjam bir davlat ekanmiz deb hiç kaçan hoş bolup bir hatırjam bo'lgan emas. Mana mush qizlar biz hatta chet eldagi boshqa lagerdan chiqqanlarni biz so'zlashib turibmiz. Telefonda har birimizning azobi yuragimizni qan tatılgandek aç taqib ötüdü günümüz. Çünkü nemişke degende o otның içinde köyüp baktık. Aşlarning her bir qaqşavatqan, qanqır qaqşavatqını çünkü bizning yuragimizni azaplaydı. Şoňa her bir o qerindişimiz bolganda men musulman döwletlerge ayran bütün musulmanlar deydiğim. Sizlarning oqşaşlı aşlar qerindişinglar. Biz qandak azaplansaňlar, sizlar şunda azaplanışinglar kerak, şular üçün hareket qilishinglar kerak dep oylayman. Bizning mana hozir butun yerlarga berib mushta so'zlab birisining oldiga chiqib mushta so'zlamikimiz bizning qo'rqinchli, jirginishli bir hayotimizni bir o'lib bo'lgan odam biz necha qitim Xitoyning qo'l tayoq bilan o'lgan, o'lim og'izdan og'riqlardan qaytgan, lekin bu jirginishli hayotlarimizni so'zlash biz uchun bir faxrlik yoki biz uchun bir shundoq yaxshi emas. Nemishki, ashlar uchun bir inson bir bilib Xitoy qarshi chiqsa, bir davlat bo'lsin, ash Xitoyning yog'onchilik zulmini to'xtatishga harakat qilsa, biz shular uchun bir iş qılalamızmı dep muşunda qıp ketip barımız. Şunun üçün sizlarning bir musulman qeyrindaşlarına ular uyaqtiki qanqır qaqşavatqan bir kelgen Uyg'urlar bolsun, mehilli başqa millet qeyrindaşlar bolsun, hammalardan ötüm qılay. Vatanimizda qeyrindaşlar üçün harakat qılanglar ötünüp qılay sizlardan. Hammalarga rahmat.
So as a camp survivors, we were in that fire. We were inside those camps, and we have the pain until now. Every day we deal with this trauma. We cannot forget what we went through. What we demand from you guys is we are brothers and sisters. We have the same religion. We have the same faith. We shouldn't stop. Now you know what we went through. Basically what we're trying to do is we have eyewitness what Chinese government is doing to Uyghurs, brothers, sisters. We expect others to do the same, help us, take an action, pray for us, and help Uyghur Muslims in China. Thank you.
Mena bir kız gidip kaptı. Biz Uygurlarning hammasining telefonida mushu app bor. Mushu Xitoyning appi, mushu app mana.
Chinese government force every single Uyghurs to download this app. This is the app.
Mushu app bo'lsa biz musulmonning qoidasi bo'yicha birsi-birsimizga Allohga omonat. İnşallah Xudoga shukr. Ya Allohning ismimiz Allohning assalomu alaykum hattaki. Shundoq gaplarni deyamaymiz. Mushu app telefonimiz bo'ldiki 3 minutdan ichida shu gapni deb qoldik. Saqchi doiralari bizni tutib ketdi.
Chinese government has control of every single moment of our conversations, what we're watching, what we're saying to each other, and what we're reading. They can monitor that. Because of this app, we can't even use the Islamic word like Salam Alaikum or Khuda Hafiz or that kind of, all those religious related words are banned. If you use those words in couple minutes, police comes and take you to the detention camps.
Vatanimizdeki öylerinin hacetxanasının derizleri yok. Hatta ki Ramzan'da muş Xitaylar deriz marab kimden çırıqı yandı dep. Aşta kısa biçer Uygurlar hacetxanda oturup zorluk yeydi.
Can you imagine, because we cannot fast, we're not allowed to fast, if we turn on the lights at night, in the middle of the night for sahur, the Chinese police walks around and check which houses turning their lights. So some of our people, they go to bathroom and they eat their sahur inside the bathroom, so no police notice them.
Küçük ballardan mekteplerde soraydı. Apağın namaz ötemdi, dadağın namaz ötemdi. Narısıydı ballarının hata berip kalan uxmay, muşu bilmey, aldap şurup ballardan guvalık belgizip, atalarının muşu ballarının öteydi o uyandı cay namaz bağımı, Kur'an bağımı dep, ballar bilmezden depsağalık için nurgun atalarını Xitaylar sakçıları tutup ekitildi.
Did you know that they use our own kids as a spies on our activities? They ask our children at school, is your parents fasting? Is your parents praying? Do you guys have Quran in the house? Poor little kids, they speak the truth, and because of that, many parents are taken to the concentration camps.
Sizler ballarınlarını azada, Bahraman mescitlerde, billi yılınlarda namaz ötetken vaxtıda biz ballarımızga namaz ötümüdük de, öydü Kur'an yok da dep, her gün, her saat şulağı tapılap ötümüz. Ballarımızdan bir yığız gibi toğulup bizden yani kampıga kirip ketmesligimiz için ballarımızını yalgan guvalık berişke, muallimlerge, sakçılarga, kimge uçursa yalgan bir nas deyişke ündeyimiz biz ballarga şunu gütümüz.
You guys are free here. You can go to mosque with your kids. You can pray together. You can teach our religion to your kids. Say Alhamdulillah, because we teach our kids not to share those, not to tell them that we have Quran in the house, not to tell the police or their teachers that we talked about religion in the house. We had to teach those things to our kids.
Hatta ki mening ballarım Ürümçi aeroportun İslamabadga keldik. İslamabadga keldik. Musulman dövleti, özünün darısının dövleti. Azan to'lisa mening ballarım qo'rqib birsi qirib, "Opa, qanday qilamiz?" deganda azanning ovozini anglab.
When I was released, when we came to Pakistan, first time when my kids heard about Adhan, they were so scared. They didn't know what to do. They were asking me what to do with this Adhan. Do we have to listen this? They were basically lost.
Ötünüp qalay xalqım, dünyanın bir chetidagi musulmonlar shunchalik ig'ir kunlarni kechiryotidu.
Şunda kılışınlar gerek, her bir Müslüman için cinini bir iş gerek. Her bir Müslümanlığı deydiğim, asli Müslümanlar için Müslümanlar can kılış gerek. Sizlerin bütün dünyadaki Müslümanlarını qarab turayotganiga hayran men.
Isn't it?
Biz Uyg'urlar eng dinga changkanmiz. Shunchalik darajada qiyinchilikda bo'lsakmi, ashta ash qilib, o'birnida turib, ro'z tutyotidi. Ashta yana diniga chang turyotidi, namozni ashta qilib, urilib, so'qilib yurib, ash Xitoyning zulm bilan o'qiyotidi. Ashta musulmonni qutqizmayotganlarga, ash Xitoy qarshi chiqmay, yana shu Xitoyning so'zini so'zlayotgan musulmon davlatlarga hayron.
As you see, even in this condition, we try our best to keep our religion, continue our religion. You guys are in the free world. Isn't our book, Holy Book, Quran says, when there is injustice, stand up for it? Isn't our Quran says, help your brothers and sisters? Help the oppressed, not the oppressor. I am very disappointed in the Islamic world, especially our brothers and sisters in Muslim countries, that they're not doing enough, they're not speaking up, their government is not doing enough.
Biz musulmonlarda qo'shning oshqaga holatda sizning hajam qubulmaydi deydigan gap so'zlarmi bor. Biz bu holatda kelganda sizlarga haqiqatan muhtoj biz. Bizning har qanday ishlarimizga, Xitoyga qarshi bu kurishimizga biz bilan tang atlanishinglarni umid qilma. Ko'pchilik rahmat.
We really hope and demand and beg you and implore that even in Islam, when your neighbor is hungry, you shouldn't go to sleep or you shouldn't go to Hajj. But now your neighbor, your brothers and sisters in China are being oppressed and facing this genocide. So what we really want is your help. Take some action. Thank you. Now we would like to take questions. If you have questions, Qadirjan.
Anyone have a question? Give me a raise your hand.
Assalamu alaikum. I don't have a question per se, but I want to say thank you so much for coming. I heard about this situation. I didn't know the details, I'll be honest. Forgive me. Yeah, thank you. I didn't know the whole details of the situation, but like you said, being here, listening to you guys, I feel your pain. And I love you all for the sake of Allah. And I'm here to help you if you need anything. Inshallah, like you all say, we cannot stop now. And also, right now, the American government is actually more your side, like for us, for Uyghurs. And if we do not take action now and continue this, then maybe 10 years, 20 years from now, somebody like maybe worse than Trump being president, then they say, forget it, like we don't have time. So, like sisters say, it's our duty and responsibility. We cannot leave this masjid and say, I don't know what happened with Uyghurs, because we listened to what they said. So, and also for the brothers, we need to be strong men. If the Islamic world had strong Muslim men, this stuff would not happen. In the past, this stuff would not happen. So please raise your sons to be strong Muslim men. We all need to become strong. Maybe this is ni'mat from Allah that because Uyghur go through this, Muslim Ummah become stronger and become unified. But sisters, I'm here for you, inshallah. And any time you guys have any event, I will tell everyone I know about you guys, your cause, and I can help you guys in any way. Like, please take my number. I can help. Inshallah.
Any other questions?
I have a couple comments too. So I have read your testimony. I've read all of your testimony. I have written about your testimony, and I will continue to write about your testimony and share with everybody that I know. And I just want to thank you so much for sharing your story. I can only imagine how painful it is to already have experienced it and then to have to relive it over and over. So please know that those of us who are here are listening and will take what you have said outside of this room, and we'll do what we can to continue to fight to stop the genocide. So thank you so much. And thank you for traveling here to be with us in person also. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sharing your horrible stories. I want to follow. I don't know your name, Lena. Yeah, I know Lena is working on getting your story out, the Uyghur story out. She's doing her dissertation on the Uyghurs, and I want you all, and you, Miracle, and some of you know, I have a film that I want to be used to get your story out. It's called The Broken Promise, and it covers not only the Uyghurs, but Miracle is a very prominent part of this film. And it's about crimes against humanity and genocide, and it covers the Uyghur situation. And the reason we did the film is the same reason she's doing her dissertation, is to get these stories out so people can learn more about these crimes. So and you all know that I want you to use our film for that purpose.
qarindosh ajrim singillerim. Men sizlarning shu YouTube'da burun tilashi bir 2 yil bo'ldi qancha so'zlab kelgansiz. Har birisini anglagandim. Har qatim anglab ko'zim yig'lab yoshlarim qurib ketgan. Meni bir nafsimim turmada, tavancham turmada bo'lmayman. Nimkilar ko'radigan. I cannot imagine ishq Xudoyim bor. Mush to'kilgan yoshlarimiz Xudoyim ko'rib qolan bekor ketmas deb o'ylayman ishq.
Just a summary translation. She also has a sister in the camps. That's why she is sharing the same feelings and going through. And she said she will pray. This will not continue this way. One day this has to end.
Yeah, just as the brother said, it's very heartbreaking to hear, and really appreciate you sharing those what you went through. And as the brother said, we have to be united. We always hear about the Holocaust that happened, even after so many years, which should not have happened. But it's unbelievable and shocking to hear that the Holocaust is going on currently in this day and age, and we are letting it happen. The UN is letting it happen. So we have to, as you rightly said, sister, the Muslim world has to come together and fight against injustice.
Thank you so much. Yes. I think there is no more questions. Thank you again for coming. We really appreciate that you stayed till the end. Appreciate your time.
Thanks again. So, like what I said, you know, and right now we can't do much to our people back at home, except pushing this, you know, government, you know, help to support us. And another thing is just like what we're doing with our foundation, because of a lot of parents, a lot of people being forced to call them back to hometown, you know, because, you know, some locals becomes a threat, and that if you don't go, like people in a foreign country, like in Turkey, if you don't come back, we're gonna put your relative in prison. So a lot of people went back, and there's a lot of they never returned. A lot of people are kept in the camp. So we had a lot of orphans and widows, and mostly in Turkey right now, that, you know, they're not financially not in good shape. So we help that. We also helped a few camps over here. So, and we also have another few, have several camps that are outside the U.S. So I think least thing what we can do, like what Alfida shared as the last night, you know, support whatever you can, you know. So if you have any, you want also financial aid, you have a few tables here for the orphans, the camp survivor, you know, just stop. You know, so just thanks for everyone. Jazakallah khair.